Welcome back to Star Wars Nerds Unite, the review podcast about the Star Wars universe.
I should do the intro this time.
All right, do it.
The drunk person instead of the drugged person?
I'm not drunk.
I am
Welcome to
drugged.
Star Wars Nerds Unite, a podcast focused on the Disney acquisition of Lucasfilms. This is episode 91.
We're not focused on their actual acquisition.
That's all we're focused on. It's all about the acquisition.
We're going to go over intense
talk about the mergers,
actuarial details,
contracts,
spreadsheets.
We are... Whatever. That's what he always used to say in the intro.
No, he didn't.
All right, whatever. We are talking about
Focused
Rebels.
on the new media and canon coming out of the Disney acquisition of Lucasfilm. That's what I used to say.
All right. That's what I meant to say.
All right, do your good intro. Go ahead.
I just did it. That was my good intro.
Oh.
That was not very good.
Okay. Hang on.
How now, brown cow?
All right. Welcome to Star Wars Nerds Unite, the Star Wars podcast focused on the media coming, I can't remember how you said it, from the Disney acquisition of Lucasfilms. Today we are talking about Rebels Season 3, Episode 4?
I think it's technically episode 3.
No, the first one was 2. Is this... Did
It's
we only
episode
talk
3.
It's technically episode 3, even though
okay.
it's the fourth thing we've watched.
Okay. Episode 3. The end.
The wedge extraction.
The wedge extraction. I always want to say Antilles something or other. The wedge extraction.
Well, his last name is Antilles.
I know. That's why.
Actually, I think it is Antilles.
No, it's just the wedge extraction.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought I had something in with Antilles because I was
Yeah,
confused
so
about
did
whether or
I.
not I should do
The
if it
Antilles
was about
extraction.
if it was about
I think that's what it's called.
R2-D2's previous owners.
So.
You
So
gonna
that's
introduce
it.
us or anything?
Oh, yeah, so this
that's how
is
the
my-
intro usually goes.
This is my co-host, Tim, my gorgeous husband. Doesn't look so gorgeous right
Homely
now. If you're on
caretaker.
Periscope, he had a minor
surgery. Outpatient.
Watch it. Minor surgery today in the office. As in he had an office
She
appointment.
made sure that I got the parents
the-
receipt.
he had a doctor's appointment today, but he's calling it surgery.
It's the Antilles extraction.
Yeah, that's what
There
I
you
thought.
In your face.
So,
We just lost
wedge.
all of the subscribers.
The wedge extraction is what I'm going to call it.
Tim is not up to snuff today. He has had a broken finger. Everybody probably has heard about it ad nauseum. And he had to have it reopened up today in the office.
Because his body sucks at
And
healing.
his body wouldn't heal. He had to have his finger cut back open.
It was because they used
he's
they used new internal sutures on the inside when they used the anchor, and it didn't. They wanted to leave.
It didn't
they wanted
work.
to leave my body.
They had to cut his finger back open, and he's just not feeling well today. He wasn't. You can tell by his hair. He looks like
He's disheveled.
He's a mess. He looks like a homeless person.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get his finger fixed, it'll look like my finger.
The kinky pinky.
If he doesn't get his finger fixed, I don't know how he's ever gonna get that hair put back in place.
I don't know.
My finger, I jacked up my finger playing basketball. In
Oh
junior high.
God, I hope his finger does not look like that.
Yeah, that was honest to God. That was one of the reasons I got my finger fixed because I was worried that somehow it would turn into a
Now
kinky pinky.
that you did get it fixed and you had to get it refixed, it's probably definitely gonna end up like that.
You're doomed.
I'm gonna have a scar there, but chicks dig scars. 5 minutes in, we haven't talked Star Wars at all,
right.
except
We
for to
did.
get the name wrong.
We got the name right finally.
I thought it was Antilles something. So
Did you
I was
introduce
right.
Josh? Your
Not
other
yet. I
host?
was still talking about
Oh
you.
my gosh.
Here's my other
Yeah,
co-host.
maybe my drug.
Josh the Tosh, internet famous Mason
Hi.
over here. He's got the Periscope going.
Thanks for inviting me.
Did you turn it around to you? So
No, you
see?
can camera for a little bit
All right.
with your broken finger.
My jank hand. There's Josh the
Hi.
Tosh. Hi. Good. Perfect. Are you?
All right, synopsize.
Yeah. Are you good? Oh, Joel. Joel just posted something.
Yay.
Yeah, he said hi.
Hi,
Oh,
Joel.
evening, y'all. Evening, Joel. At Joel Shepman.
Why don't you synopsize, Josh, and I'll just add in?
Oh my goodness. All right.
Because if I synopsize, I'm just going to talk about Sabine's hair.
It's very nice in this. It's
I
very
like
Raven.
it a lot.
That's so Raven.
Yeah. What is this? It feels like dried makeup, but I don't think that's what it is.
No, it's not dried.
It's like a weird waxy construction paper.
Yeah,
but it's super
just
brittle.
A piece of paper that somebody ripped up.
Stay on topic here. Stay on target.
The episode begins with a rebel transport being destroyed by some TIE interceptors, and they lose a bunch of fighters. They had some A-wing escorts, and it kind of highlights the issue the rebellion has where they don't have enough pilots. And then we find out that Fulcrum, but it's not Ahsoka, it's a new Fulcrum. There are many Fulcrums.
They just use that.
What's the plural of Fulcrum, though? Is it Fulcrums? It feels like it should be something cooler.
Fulcry.
Fulcry.
Fulcrami?
Real quick, Joel Shepman wants to know if you've been drinking, Josh.
No.
Josh doesn't drink.
I don't drink at all.
Never drank a drop.
Only Jen. Jen drinks enough for both of us. So Fulcrum says, hey, there are these hotshot pilots at this Imperial Academy that want to defect. And so Sabine gets this mission to go in and extract them.
I forgot that she used to be a Imperial cadet.
Yeah. Everybody used to be an Imperial cadet, apparently. So they're going to extract people. Maybe Antilles? I don't know.
Well, the name would imply so.
Wouldn't it? She goes to the academy and she does a sweet Nintendo cartridge blow trick to get her credentials to work.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Let me try.
And so then she gets in and she does some simulators, and it was interesting that in the simulator they already have the ghost, and it comes in and they're training against it.
They're such a big deal.
Yeah, they are a big deal. But she ultimately figures out that there's Wedge and a couple other doofuses that are the ones that want to defect. And they come up with this plot where they're all going to... Ezra's captaining a Corellian Corvette, and they're going to sneak off during a practice mission and go run off and join the rebellion. Simultaneously, Governor Price and Agent Callus show up to the academy, and they're like, there's some defectors here. We're going to root them out. And Callus is doing like interviews and useless bureaucratic work, and he can't figure it out. So Governor Price decided she's going to play a trick to root out the rebels. So on the next mission, right is Sabine and Wedge, and we find out Hobby, and I can't remember the other guy's name.
I can't either. I was trying to think of his name. It starts with an
like
R.
Charge, or
I think it starts with an R.
What is it? Randy, Wrench.
Raleigh or something like that.
Something like Wrench. Anyways, they're flying off and they're like, lol, we got away. And then Price is like, lol, no, you didn't.
It was Rake.
Rake.
Ah.
Thanks, Joel.
Rake. I knew it started with an R.
And then she blows the wings off the TIE fighter, the ion arrays. And so what's weird is the engines are in the body. So the engines shouldn't have died immediately, but they did. And so it's
probably a failsafe, right?
Yeah, whatever. The Rake ends up getting blowed up as an example to the other three. And they do some damage to the Corvette when Ezra shows up, and he ends up running off. So they get captured.
He does the 1-2 Kanan makes him.
Yeah. Because they don't want to die.
Yeah, that vet was getting...
He got hammered. Those TIE interceptors were like the greatest TIE interceptors the Imperials ever produced.
Well, they had good pilots. That's supposed to be where all the best pilots were.
Yeah, but still, it took like one shot to take out all their deflector shields.
They must have not had them on because they were trying to get those TIE balls in.
Maybe. So what happens is the three get captured, Hobby and Wedge.
Hey, wait a minute. Joel's on there right now?
Yeah.
I want to know what his mean email was going to be about.
Oh, I don't think he's going to tell you live on the air.
Yeah,
maybe.
he was.
Lady Magana says, yay, hashtag Nerd Squadron.
Yay.
He was gonna complain about something, not us.
I think he was going to complain about those people that wrote negative reviews on our podcast.
Maybe.
Like Adam Strange did.
Adam Strange wrote, yeah, he was mad.
Yeah. All right. The three of them are captured. They're in a little jail, and they're gonna torture Sabine because they find out that she was
they start to torture.
Yeah, that's all
Wedge.
insignificant. They're gonna
Well,
torture
then
Sabine.
She tells them, she saves him. She says, no, it was me.
Right. That's fine. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Unimportant. They're gonna torture Sabine, and Sabine breaks free and fights off two stormtroopers, and then fights off Price, knocks her out, and then she sneaks up and goes
This
to
is my favorite part.
Hobby and Wedge are sitting there, and they're like, "We got to do something. What can we possibly do?" And the door
Wedge is
opens,
like,
and
maybe we can distract the guards.
yeah, the door opens, and it's Sabine, and she could hear them talking out the door. And she says a funny one-liner about how inept they are.
And she just opens the door, and they were like, we were going to save you. And she's like, that's cute. Come on, let's go. It was really funny.
They're scurrying through the facility, and they run into Callus. And Callus
This
tells
is my
them,
second favorite part.
he tells them where they should go to get away, and he lets them get away. And he says,
avoid floors 3 and 5, or 3 through 5.
Go to Hangar Bay 64. And he says he's making good with Zeb, since he saved Callus on Geonosis' moon.
Jenny's doing shadow puppets on
There
Josh.
was
years back.
a spider.
Yeah, he's hanging right in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
It's a tiny little spider. So they end up finding a TIE bomber, and they all three get in the TIE bomber and start flying off, and super mega pilot Zor gets in his TIE interceptor, and he's chasing after them, and then Ezra shows up in the Corvette, and they save the day. And then Wedge and Hobby join the rebellion. They were extracted.
They were.
And they were extracted.
That's what happened.
So did they ever give any like origin story for Wedge before? Or like, did you know he was like an Imperial
Yes.
cadet?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
Not in like official canon. It was in the Rogue Squadron games. And it was loosely...
Yeah,
like,
but okay, not in this new official canon, yes. But in the
Well,
previous
we're
one,
really
he absolutely
focused on
was.
the canon.
I know
on the
that, but I thought you were
acquisition.
asking if it had ever been established, not in the new canon only. My mistake. So yeah, he had definitely been an Imperial dude before and defected. I didn't
He
know.
seemed
I knew Hobby
very,
had been too, but I didn't know that they were
Oh,
in
was
the
Hobby
academy
a real
together.
guy?
yeah, Hobby's
Yeah.
in Empire Strikes Back
Oh,
and Return of the Jedi.
I didn't know that. I thought he was just made up. What about Rake? Is
Rake's
he-
dead.
Yeah.
I know. Have you ever
so
heard
he
of
wouldn't
Rake?
have been in
Did they
anything.
have like the legend of our lost friend Rake?
No, they never talk about Rake again.
What about Shovel?
No.
Hoe?
Nope.
Garden hoe?
No, Montgomery Ward Tiller. They do bring him
Yeah, they
up,
talk
though.
about him a lot.
I liked the sound a couple times. They used some of the sound effects. Did you notice the klaxon when they were escaping from the whatever?
You talking about the horn, the warning?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the klaxon. It reminded me. It was like the same exact one from.
Can you define what klaxon is?
I don't know what that means.
No, can you define klaxon? Can you not make the noise you are associating with the word you are saying?
A klaxon is an alarm.
I don't think that's correct.
It is.
We'll have to check that. I check it right now, but he's using my phone.
Here.
At Joel
Verify
Shepman
it.
is really excited about Tiller Talk. Hashtag Tiller Talk.
Yeah.
And Lady Magana said that she was sorry she was late.
Well, there's no. We're past tilling season here in Illinois. It's the first freeze is like
Loud electric
tomorrow.
horn, formerly used on automobiles, trucks, etc.,
Yeah,
now often
loud
used
horn.
as a warning signal.
There you go.
There you go. See?
Yeah. So tilling season's pretty much over in these parts.
They use pod racer noises too
Yeah.
in the ships when they're flying by. I picked out some of those noises. It was cool.
It's good.
I liked this episode.
I really liked it a
Sabine
lot.
had really dark hair,
I
but
really
still had
liked her
multiple
hair.
colors.
I really loved her hair in this.
How she dyed
She
it
looked really pretty.
dark. Yeah. She looked a little like you.
She looked very professional.
Yeah, she looked better without her punk hair, right?
It made her, like, you didn't focus on her crazy hair. You could just see her face, and her face was really pretty.
She still had multiple shades though, so she
I think
still
it
had
was
some
just,
individuality.
like, the lighting and, like, the
Yeah, I don't think
different
so.
shades. It wasn't, like, dyed drastically different, though. I liked the part with Callus a lot when he let them go.
So do you think Callus is Fulcrum?
I started to think so, but because
When I heard him, I swear I said, didn't I say last week it sounds like him?
I said that.
Did you?
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know.
But it does sound like him.
It sounds like him completely.
And it makes, the more you think about it, the more it makes sense. Like why he's never captured them.
well, I don't think he was originally. I think he came over to
He
that
evolved?
side. Yeah, after he had the interaction with Zeb.
Maybe.
Josh is right, Joel says. Yeah, so I think that's what happened. He's like has defected since then because he realizes he's in the wrong. But at the same time, I don't think he totally has, because I actually think that Fulcrum is Thrawn. The new Fulcrum is Thrawn, and he's playing him for a game.
Maybe. You think Callus knows that he's being played? Like he's part of the game?
Oh, you think it is Callus, but Thrawn knows and is
Right.
taking advantage. Yeah.
Feeding them breadcrumbs?
That's a good theory. That would be very Thrawn-like.
It would. The only thing more Thrawn-like is if like it was Obi-Wan Kenobi. Was Fulcrum. And Thrawn was in charge of him. Like controlling him.
Thrawn had taken over
What did
Obi-Wan.
Thrawn
Yeah.
do in the first place? Originally?
Just he was a really good military mind. And there's a book series, a 3-part series that's one of the better. It was the first expanded universe book series, and also was subsequently be one of the best ones. So it's very highly regarded among people who read books in the old EU.
Mm.
It's pretty much essential reading.
Yeah. For anyone that loves Star Wars. I have it. You want to read it?
Maybe.
It'd be
They have it
useless.
on Audible.
It's old canon. So
There'll be a new Thrawn book coming up.
yeah, I'm excited
It's
for that.
going to be Timothy Zahn again.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't even know that. Shows you what I know. This episode was pretty good. It was I like the episodes that are focused on the Jedi more. Like the big ones, like I know it's obvious, but last year's finale and this year's the first episode, I just like those story arcs and the way they're exploring those characters and how important those are. And we have these more adventure-based stories. I enjoy them, but I don't like them nearly as much. I think I just like Darth Maul, get fighting with him and sort of that discovery of the epicness, because the rest of the stuff doesn't seem like
But the other
super
stuff
important.
means more important.
But
Because we know Ezra Kanan and Maul are gone by the time A New Hope happens.
well, we know
But you
they're
know who's not gone?
We know they're not involved in the matters.
You know
at
who's
hand.
not gone?
Thrawn.
Wedge and Hobby.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
It was
That
all about
right
getting
there.
them free. All about it. What else do we have to say about this episode? We talked for only like 15 minutes on it after our 4.5 minute long intro.
Hera wasn't really in it.
No.
Oh no.
Nobody really was other than really Sabine. I mean, Kanan and Ezra were in it, but
Kanan
it
and
wasn't.
Ezra were.
They were just token players.
Yeah, the next
Mm.
episode focuses on Hera quite a bit, right?
Yep.
And then the next one, I don't even know who it focuses on.
Rex.
Oh, on Rex. Ooh. How come we're not podcasting on that one tonight?
Because it's not in sequential order, if we would
Mm.
do that.
Yes.
It's called The Last Battle.
I thought we already had one called that.
No.
Mm.
We talked about it because the title
because
is
it's
funny.
not the last battle.
It ends up
Yeah,
being.
because it's in the beginning of the season, so obviously it's not the last battle.
but
That
it
was-
is The Last Battle,
that was a-
ironically.
That was a Josh joke.
I've watched it. It is The Last Battle.
What?
Yeah.
The series is over, huh?
I wouldn't say the series is over, but that battle is the last one.
Okay. There it is. Ominous. And now you have to wait for 2 more episodes to hear all about it. What do you guys want to talk about now? You want to rate the episode already and go straight to mail?
Might as well. It's a pretty open and shut episode.
Yeah, they basically go in and save them and then they
Extract.
Yeah.
They extract.
All right. Well, I can start.
9.5.
I can do emails. Oh yeah, I have to rate it. I'm gonna give it
Tim's loopy.
I'm gonna give it an 8. I am loopy. I'm out of it.
I'm going to give it a 9.
All right.
It's one of the rare ones that Jen likes more than Tim.
I liked it a lot. I was going to give it a 9.5, but I can't because you did.
Sorry. You can give it a 9.49 repeating.
Okay.
Rob says the last battle was epic.
I'm not gonna. That's a good enough segue to get people to listen.
Magana said yes. So everybody wants to talk about it. We can't right now because I didn't watch it.
We have to talk about Harris Heroes.
That's right.
Next.
All right.
Then the last battle. But really, we should talk about Ahsoka next. The book.
We should. I am almost done with it.
Jen's gonna finish it tomorrow. She promised.
How many hours is it?
6.5.
Oh,
yeah, it's not very long.
It's super short.
Yeah, you could totally get it while we're gone. Jen and I are going on a couple of trips, like right in a row for my work, and she's tagging along. So, as if you're not used to it, but podcasting may be sparse for the next couple weeks. But I hope that we get one in after we come back. So you shouldn't
Well,
even.
we're not
really
even going to be
miss
gone
one.
a whole week.
I know, but we're only going to be back for like 2 days before we got to leave again.
Yeah.
Maybe Jen and I could record one.
We could record remotely with Josh.
Yeah, we could do that. Oh, at Tanner Hoyle 2 says can't stay on long to watch, but wanted to say you guys are awesome.
Who's
Thanks,
that?
Tanner Hoyle too.
I don't know.
Hi.
Somebody who thinks we're awesome. It's hard for me to see messages. I don't know how to see the chat history in this thing.
Swipe up.
I am swiped up, but it doesn't show
Have
you
you
like.
shown your finger on
only
there?
I
shows you
did.
live.
I showed it to him.
Did you show
It looks so big on that thing.
my finger? I had to have it recut open. Everybody feels sorry for me.
90% of that is just God.
It is. It looks so huge.
Shut up. It was huge earlier
Here.
when you had it pumped full of juice. All right, I'm going to read the mail. Okay. All right. You'd think I'd have it pulled up, but I didn't.
It is kind of hard to see old chat.
Kind of. It's near impossible. Okay. So pumped for Rogue One. Here we go. This one is from superfan Tiller Talkman Extreme Adam_Strange. He says, "Hey guys, well, Halloween is right around the corner, and I was wondering if any of you dress up." Jenny dresses up.
What are you going to be this
do
year?
sometimes.
I don't know what I'm going to be this year yet. Last year we went as Poe Dameron's parents. Remember?
Indeed, we did. I don't think we have plans this year. I'd be okay skipping dressing up.
I'm
but
going
an
to
old
dress up.
poop.
I will dress up, but I just don't know what yet. We could put our pictures. Did you ever put our pictures on the website of our costumes last year?
I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah, they were on Facebook.
And probably Twitter. He says, "What are your kids dressing up as?" The only one I know is Paige is going to... Oh, Nora's going to be a piece of pizza.
She's a piece of pepperoni pizza.
Paige is going to be a pirate.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Paige is a pirate. Nora's a pepperoni pizza. Nolan hasn't decided yet. Yeah, I bet Megan won't do anything. Thinks she's too cool. Lexi probably will want to do something, but not get anything together until the last minute and then not have anything.
So no Star Wars characters unless Nolan does it.
Lucy's going to be Yoda, and Megan's going to be Luke.
That's awesome.
Oh.
What are
She's
you
going
going
to wear
be?
Lucy?
Vader?
No, I'm not going to be anything.
No.
How is she going to dress up like Luke?
I don't know. I don't have anything to do
She's
with
going to
it.
carry Yoda
She's
around.
going to carry Lucy on her back like Yoda.
That's
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
She'll be dressed up as
What's
Yoda.
Job going to be? A train?
He's going to be Thomas again,
Yeah.
maybe. We made him a Lego costume, and every opportunity, we've gone trick-or-treating 4 times already.
Oh my God.
He's dressed up as Thomas every time. Because we have a bunch of costumes at our house that people gave to us.
Yeah.
And so he's been Thomas every time, even though he was Thomas last year.
But he
And-
loves Thomas.
He does. But we made him a Lego costume, so maybe he'll be a Lego.
We shall see. He continues, I have a little confession. I just reviewed the podcast a little while ago. Thank
For
you.
the first time.
Thank you.
And he's like our first fan. He's
Hey,
like
you
our
know what?
first fan.
I just appreciate the review.
No, I'm just saying it has been a long time coming.
To get a new perspective.
He says, I should have done it a long time ago, but I'm a procrastinator. Anyway, I happened to notice that some unwashed outer rim moof milker gave you guys a 4-star rating. Here we go. Here's some rage.
No, not 4-star.
1-star
A
rating.
1-star. I was like,
See, dude, I'm on drugs. Sorry.
You're a moof milker.
I looked through all the reviews. Most are glowing, but I found the one guy that apparently had someone pee in his Cheerios. And man, this guy has issues. And I'm not talking comic books. This is the kind of guy that sits in his basement surrounded by his special friends and interviews himself in his hand mirror with questions like, how is that someone hasn't seen fit to give you your own podcast? You'd be very insightful. Oh, I don't know. I suppose that it's possibly in the works. We'll just have to wait and see. Well, it's a glaring oversight to the culture. Thank you. I don't mean to be like this, but it steamed my cabbage. I like the way he swears.
Yeah.
I can't flag it for inappropriate content, or I would. Some people will never be satisfied. So I don't know if you're looking at iTunes, because that's the only place that I saw negatives.
That's one of the oldest iTunes reviews. This is that weird paper stuff that we were messing with
There's
earlier.
actually 2 negative iTunes reviews. One of them references our voices sounding like drool.
Yeah.
The other one talks about how stupid we are and how we don't know.
You're out of wine.
We don't know Star Wars.
No, I'm out of wine, but I have plenty of dead fruit flies in my wine glass. This has never happened to me before. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
Really gross.
I just pulled a fruit fly out of my mouth. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It has a really hard time focusing on it.
There's 6 fruit flies, dead fruit flies in my cup. This wine, we opened over the weekend, and it had a little stopper thing in it, but they must have crawled in and been in the bottom of the bottle, and
So you just
they're in
drank
my
a bunch
glass.
of fruit flies.
Yeah, there's 6 fruit flies on my glass. That's absolutely disgusting.
Maybe you're drugged up right now.
Yikes. So anyway, I actually I kind of liked the one where the guy is sort of like the one you're describing, because it made me memorize the names of the people that were in the show Rebels, because he was talking about how we didn't know Zeb and he was Chewbacca, but he was referencing things we did talk about. So I don't know, whatever. Anyway.
Wasn't that in the very beginning when Rebels first started?
Yeah.
What a jerk.
I know. Anyways, love how they bring Clone Wars characters into Rogue One, and the discussion about what if Ahsoka is in Rogue One had me so psyched. I doubt she is, but what an end to a great Jedi for her to be instrumental in the offensive to put the kibosh on the Vader's efforts to protect the Death Star's weaknesses from the rebellion. She wouldn't have to be in it much. I know it's Jin's movie, and Ahsoka would overshadow everything in most fans' minds, but oh how epic it would be. Do we really think it would overshadow it? I mean, does the general public
Nobody
even
knows.
know who Ahsoka is?
No, I don't think they would do it. Because,
they wouldn't know who it was.
Right. And it would feel out of place. Like, why did this random Jedi just show up?
Yeah, it would only make sense to some people, unless they were able to give the time to establish who she was.
I think that they...
Here's the pop filter shot.
I think that
See the pop filter.
for all the trailers and everything, this movie, it seems so different than most Star Wars movies. And one reason is because it feels like more of a mainstream movie and less sci-fi, more like a war movie. So to throw this alien Jedi in would be completely the opposite
Well, there's
of
going
what
to be
they're
a
going
ton
for.
of aliens in it.
I know, but not as the main character. All the main characters are humans. There's...
Not the weird monkey dude sitting in the...
That was just a cell guy. He was just a one shot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He was an inmate. He was useless.
He continues, and how tragic to think that Ahsoka dies days before Obi-Wan comes back from obscurity. And imagine if she had lived to stand beside old Ben before Vader. First, Anakin thinks Kenobi stole Padme, and now his apprentice. Snap. Just dreams, I guess. That would be pretty dope. Maybe they'll do a new movie. Love the Periscopes. Got to get more of the squad in on those. Seems like you guys fire up Periscope right after I put the boys to bed, and I'm like, laundry can wait. He's quite a rebel, especially when he gets fired up and starts swearing. Jen.
You're getting lots of Mr. Robot cinematography right now.
Good. Perfect. Jen, question of whose Nerd Squadron had me rolling? Tim, our fans. Jen, oh yeah. Classic moment, he says.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Again, always smiling while I'm listening. Love you guys. Adam_strange, hashtag Nerd Squadrons, hashtag E-Wing, hashtag everybody muster. Good letter. We got
Everybody muster.
Yeah, we didn't get 3 letters from Rob this time.
It's because he
was mad at us for not putting an episode out, probably. This one's from Peter. He says, "Hey nerds, merch, I'm down. New trailer was so amazing. Vader walking through the fog gave me a feeling I haven't felt since 11, regenerated into 12. Doctor Who stuff there. Can't wait for premiere day. Great episode, as always. Hashtag burgers and fries. Hashtag Stooky."
We had a lot of Doctor Who fans.
It's weird.
It's not weird. It's pretty normal because it's a sci-fi thing.
Is it?
We just
But it's
probably
not
would
like
think it was funny if we knew the reference.
It's not like, I don't know. There's a lot of people who like Doctor Who that don't like
You think
other
it's weird
Star
for
Wars.
them to like both?
Star Wars and Star Trek, and
Ah.
Yeah, it's not like a...
Doctor Who's more mainstream, I would say.
Next letter is from Michael Young. "Hey guys, in episode 89, Josh or Tim said something kind of off the cuff that was probably very hurtful to Jen."
It was Tim. Let's just let's clear the air.
Yeah,
It was
me.
my husband.
I had nothing to do with this.
It was her husband who loved
I
her
just
very
laughed
much.
at it.
When you were talking about which Star Wars character you would be, one of the guys, me, made a comment directed towards Jen, her. "You would be a character who thinks she's pretty, but no one pays attention to." This is a very harmful remark directed toward Jen. I don't know if anyone has said anything, but it seems a very disparaging one. Sorry, it's worded weird. It seems very disparaging toward one of your team members, is what he meant. Keep in mind that while you may speak to men in a certain way, I don't want to bring the team down. I just want to... I think he meant to put something else there. You shouldn't
Maybe
talk
you're
to women that way.
too drugged up to
No.
read.
He put a comma and then there's a
Oh.
blank spot. Like he meant to say something that he took out and then forgot to put back in. Anyway, I don't want to bring the team down. I just want to point out something that has been bothering me. I will continue to listen. May the force be with you, Mike Young.
That's his first letter, too.
Yeah,
I think it
never
is.
heard of
I
him.
fired him up. Well, I'm glad you
made
wrote
him
in.
angry.
So I honestly don't remember what.
Oh, whatever.
I remember.
I
it.
don't remember it.
I remember saying it. I don't remember the reason I said it. It was some callback to something we were talking about.
No.
It
earlier.
was so.
No, 'cause
in your
you were-
defense, we had talked about it before the episode. We were talking. It's a common theme that we talk about with Jen,
I don't
Well,
remember that. What theme was that?
wanting to be the center of attention.
Oh, I don't think.
There was
of course you don't think it's
There
true.
was some conversation that we had that made me say something like that. And
I don't remember that part of it.
taken out of context where I'm just saying that sentence, yeah, I sound like a total jerkbag. And
He is a total
I am a jerkbag sometimes. But you guys don't get to see how she treats me off the air.
Oh my God.
So let me just throw that out there.
I don't remember any us having this conversation before the thing started. I think you were just.
Making it all up to defend myself.
I don't.
I certainly didn't mean to
remember
defend
when you said that.
Mike.
I remember when you said that, and I didn't really think that much about it. I didn't get offended or anything. I just thought you were like being a baby or something about something else because you're kind of immature.
Yeah,
when you
kind of
get
a-
your.
He's really a big baby.
He is a huge baby, and I think he sometimes can't defend himself
I hope
in
Mike's
other ways.
writes a letter in about how jerky you guys are being to me right now.
We're not being jerky. I'm trying to defend your stupid actions. I think it's you were just being immature or something, and I didn't
I'm
get
sure
offended.
that
But after I thought about it, after he said that, I was like, I mean, I guess I can see how that would really bother somebody because it was really crappy that you said that.
Oh my
But
gosh.
then I was thinking, man, what does that say that it didn't even bother me? How many other horrible
because-
things do you say that I'm just so used to?
How many horrible things do you say? You throw it back just as bad.
Yeah, for real.
I think that Tim sometimes feels like ganged up on and he gets defensive and then he just said something really mean to try to get back at me because that's the only thing he can do. to get back at me or something.
Well, we're all back here 2 episodes after 89, and we all still get along, and we still like each other. I'm not perfect at controlling my statements. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend anybody.
I really do. I'm thankful for Michael.
Yeah,
defending my honor. That was really sweet that he was.
When she's like, "Did you see that email? My hero." That's exactly what she said. I was like, "What?" I read it and I was like, "Oh, okay."
I read it at like 12 o'clock at night. It was one of those nights I stayed up to do Lego. Like, I'm not answering this email. You're going to have to deal with this.
You know what's funny? Tim was like trying to blame it on you.
I thought
he was trying to say that you said it. And I was like, I don't think Josh said it.
I don't say that.
I was like, it doesn't really sound like something he would say. And then he was like, I think it was a joint thing. I think I said some of it, and then he said some of it.
Because I can't imagine Josh saying that.
I was like, I think he said part of it, and I was like, I don't remember, whatever. And then you were like, nope, it wasn't me.
All right,
I was like,
we're gonna move on from this topic.
Anyway,
I do know. Joel said I know better, and I do.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Michael.
I have to work in the corporate world.
Yeah, we joke around a lot, and sometimes I probably said something that hurt Tim's feelings or something.
My feelers.
He
probably hurt worse than my
tried to hurt my
right
feelings, but he didn't. So, thank you for your concern. He should be more careful about what he says.
What do you guys want to talk about now?
I just want to keep talking about this.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Donald Glover is young Lando.
He was cast as
awesome.
young Lando, yeah. Like I said, it could be awesome or it could be weird.
It's going to be awesome.
I think so too. But
I guarantee it.
I think he'll be funny. He's a good actor, but he also could be really funny.
Well, you don't need him to be funny.
Yeah, he's going to play Lando's role, but he is also going to be funny.
No, that is not moonshine. But these people like to drink out of the weirdest, stupid glasses.
Almost
like hipsters.
All of our glasses are like that.
Yeah. So that is a knockoff mason jar.
Cup.
This is gigantic. It's huge. It's made out of glass, so I'm not getting poison cells all in my body.
Yeah, poison cells.
BPA free.
Yeah. So, yeah, I drink out of this. I don't have to refill it one time for the whole...
It is not moonshine. It's water.
It's just water.
I wish it was moonshine.
No, you don't.
He already drugged up enough with the painkillers.
He took one pain pill, and he'll probably be like throwing up all day tomorrow.
Did I ever tell you about the one time... I don't take drugs either, like pain meds.
Yeah, you don't ever.
And so when I had my ACL surgery, I think Megan probably told you this at some point.
I can vaguely remember a story, yes.
So when I had my ACL surgery, I got out of surgery. Oh, you're going to film me.
Yeah.
So I got out of surgery and I was bedridden, and I had this little machine that automatically injected morphine.
Pain pump.
And by the time I finally was cognizant, I was super itchy.
Oh yeah.
And I had to get it off. And I was having all kinds of weird hallucinations and telling Megan all kinds of crazy things. So I was only on morphine for 8 hours because I couldn't handle it.
Can't handle your high.
Are you allergic to it?
No, I don't take opiates.
It makes your nose itch and...
Well, making your nose itch is normal, but not your whole body.
I think that's a normal potential side effect.
Oh,
Normally
guys.
it's just your nose.
Sugify Lucy just sent us 3 kissy emoticons.
Nice.
Yeah, it's one of those.
That's a kiss noise.
Joel says he can't be on them either.
I've never been on them.
You've never been under anesthesia?
Well, I mean, just for surgery, but not for... I've never been on pain meds afterward, just while I was going to sleep.
What other Star Wars things you guys want to talk about? Anything?
I don't know that there's much to say. Rogue One, we already talked about the trailer.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a whole lot of other Star Wars news. Nothing worth mentioning.
It seems like people aren't as excited about Rogue One.
They're not hyping it up as much.
Yeah. I'm super
I think
stoked.
it's because last year was the first new movie. And
so you got
how many
normal
years?
people hype, and this year you won't get normal people hype.
And this is a different kind of movie. They know They're
not marketing it for kids at all.
And we're gonna be in line pretty early. I wonder, we're gonna have to bring something to do because I think we're gonna be some of the only ones in line.
Probably don't need to get in line.
Well, whatever. I'll be there.
We're going to.
We can podcast. We could
We
periscope.
said we
and
could
live.
last year and we didn't.
Joel said he's losing his mind waiting until December. And Rob says, I'm more excited for Rogue One than episode 8.
I am
Bold
very
words.
excited. After the last trailer came out, I got
Yeah, I'm super stoked for
pumped.
I think it could
One.
potentially be a better movie than 8, but I'm more excited for 8. Because the story in Rogue One is
I
already
already
written.
know what
Yeah.
happens. It's not like
Whereas
there's gonna be a lot of
8, there's all
surprises.
kinds of what ifs and the unknown.
Lady Magana says her non-Star Wars friends haven't even heard
Yeah,
of it.
I'd believe that.
That's
My
crazy.
non-Star Wars friends thought that Darth Vader got a new mask, and that's why they thought like Kylo.
Is wearing Vader's
was-
mask
They're
or
like,
something?
Darth
Gosh.
Vader looks
You
different.
need to find some new friends.
It was actually Mike. He thought
All right.
that it was different.
So that's the podcast, folks. Follow
Any
us.
last minute questions or comments?
Yeah. Follow us
yeah.
on Twitter. Who has non-Star Wars friends? That's what Rob says. It's a good question.
We all do.
I don't have any.
Yes, you do.
Follow us on Twitter at StarWarsNU. Rate us and review us on iTunes,
Does Kendon
Stitcher.
like Star Wars?
Download us.
He does.
Subscribe
He
to
likes-
us on Spotify.
He likes sci-fi
iTunes.
stuff, so he would like watch it.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna like know all the characters, but he would watch it.
Tanner wants to know where we're from. We're from Central Illinois. That's where we're from. And let's see what else. StarWarsNerdsUnite.com. You can find us. We've got an Amazon link. If you do that, that helps us pay for the hosting. We actually get enough now where it pays for our hosting, and we can start to buy nickel candies, I think,
At Holland's.
at Holland's,
I can buy some wine without bugs in it
Yeah, right.
someday.
maybe. I could pay to fix my tiller. It needs welded. What else do I plug? We're on BenView Network. There's a lot of nerd podcasts on there, some really, really good ones. I always talk about BenView on Spielberg. They talk about every Spielberg movie one by one. And then,
Retro junkies.
yeah, we're on the Retro Junkies Network.
Have you been recording Seeing You?
Yeah.
I just never notice it.
Yeah, we're on I do another podcast, a comic book podcast called Comic Nerds Unite. We just recorded an episode on the first volume of Hellboy. So I'm excited for that.
Did they relaunch Hellboy?
No.
They just do random.
Yeah, we
books all
we
the
don't do
time.
it like
It's not like
we don't keep
So
up on
it's-
new stuff
okay.
like this.
We just do
It's
weird-
all we randomly pick stuff that we want to read and talk about. It's like a book club.
Gotcha.
We just record it.
It's the Oprah Book Club for
Right.
35-year-old nerds.
Yes.
And
correct.
Mark talks for like 4 hours about it.
Yeah, Mark is very talky.
Well, he gives really long synopses. Sometimes.
Synopses. Synopsises.
I feel like I'm missing
And
stuff.
Kent takes like 8 pages of notes.
Yeah, he's very
everything.
meticulous. I love it. It makes me have to do even less. Letters at StarWarsNerdsUnite.com if you want to be read on the air, or you could just hop on the Periscope. When are we going to record next? Sunday?
That's up to you people.
I think Sunday night we'll probably record. Probably about 9 o'clock if I had to
Sunday
guess.
night might be hard. I have soccer game on Sunday night. I don't know what time yet.
Are you on a men's league now?
It's a co-ed league, but it's not one that you would want to play in
Why?
because the competition is very high level.
Who's on your team?
Nobody that you know.
Who's the girls?
You don't know them. They're ones that were supposed to be on our team, but they bailed when they heard how no one knew how to play soccer.
Rob wants another one tonight. Another
Yeah, good
podcast
luck with
tonight.
that.
I fell asleep.
I only watched 5
my
minutes of
drug-induced
Harris
days.
Heroes. So I can
Lady
talk
Magana
to,
wants another one too.
I
Yeah.
could talk about
Sorry.
Harris Heroes for 5 minutes.
Well, that's all you really needed to watch. You're not missing anything. That's it.
Is it a bridge issue?
It's a bridge.
Throwaway?
It's kind of like hey, we haven't had Hera on in a while. Let's do something with Hera.
Rob wants
Issue.
Rob wants an all-night podcast.
Maybe some other time. Maybe
No.
like
We'll live stream.
Do
Thanksgiving.
you remember when we came to
Airtime.
your house at 10 p.m. and you had been asleep for 3 hours?
What?
remember that.
That has. I
We
can stay
Periscoped it
awake.
live.
I can stay awake all night. I sleep less than both of you combined, and still function as a human being.
Okay.
We're gonna wrap this up.
I finished my UCS Falcon the other day. I sent pictures to you, and you didn't respond.
Josh is starting to sound cranky, Joel says. Actually, for this podcast, Josh becomes uncranky, and then it just turns off slowly as we go further in. Josh often sounds cranky, Lady Magana says.
I'm not cranky.
No, this is normal. He's actually really positive right now. We didn't have any science corner questions. You didn't have to work your brain.
No, I didn't.
Rob didn't send a letter in. I don't know what's happening to the world. We made everybody mad.
He
when we
should send
took
a
too long.
secret letter and just say, like, don't read this on the air and tell us what he was going to write about last time when
That
he
was
was so
Joel.
mad. Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
it's-
I'm talking about.
Oh,
He was talking about Rob.
Whatever. I'm talking about Joel right now.
She's calling out Joel.
Lady Magana says it's odd to see how smiley he really is here.
I smile 100% of the time.
That's a lot.
He never does not have a smile on his face.
It's the truth, except for when I'm yelling at people. Even then, I'm smiling.
Yeah,
most
he
of the
does
time.
often smile. He does often smile. Joel says nothing but love to you.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go. Nerd Squadron signing off. May the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Thanks for tuning in on the Periscope, guys.
Bye.
I'll see you guys later.
Did you hear that? We're doomed.
This podcast is a part of the BenView network.
You can find this and other podcasts like it at benviewnetwork.com.